So you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. And listen, man, you can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. Know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Salute, man. Salute to everybody that's going to tap in. Salute to everybody that's going to tap in afterwards. You know, the analytics say a lot of people are going to tap in after the live. Now, first and foremost, I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. You know what I mean? Salute to all my day one investors in the DMs saying Big GMB TV, the Oracle. And don't you forget the TV. Better always remember the Oracle. Where have you been, my G? What's going on? Well, listen, man, I've been on a road. I've been getting to a bag. I've been handling real grown man business. So I had to take a little hiatus from this YouTube thing. I had to take a little hiatus. I had to sit back and watch this little YouTube thing. And I ain't gonna lie, man, it's definitely disgusting work, my G's. It is absolutely disgusting work. So don't worry. I'll be back in no time with the pre-recordings. I'll be back in no time lining y'all up with the information, lining y'all up, you know, with the videos. But I did want to tap in. I did want to tap in because I got a lot of people in the DMs asking me, Big G and BTV, what do you think about everything that's going down with the New York content creators? And I'm gonna speak on that, specifically China Mac. Now, if you go into my old videos, I've already done a ton of videos on China Mac, my G, the culture vulture. But it is definitely reaching a breaking point. You understand? So I'm gonna tap into the situation with China Mac, and then I'm gonna talk about Virginia business because the New York situation, you know, that's New York business, but it is on YouTube and it is information. And we're gonna talk about Jim Jones and we're gonna talk about Pusha T because that's another issue and that's another topic that got my notifications going crazy in the DMs enough for me to say, you know what, I'm gonna tap in and then tap out. So salute to everybody. You already know what it is. You know, I know y'all ain't seen me in a while, but let's lock in. Now, China Mac. I told y'all before that China Mac is one of the biggest culture vultures. One of the number one culture vultures. And this is a prime example. You got a Chinaman speaking for New York. When did this come to light? When did this happen? Where you got a Chinaman speaking for New Yorkers. You got literally a Chinaman. You know, I want to give a big salute the '05 voter movement. You know what I mean? Salute the '05 voter movement, man, because you know, when I was coming back and forth to New York, when I was in and out of New York, those was the type of New Yorkers I was rubbing shoulders with. Dudes like 050, the movement. Again, big salute. You understand me? Because it's disgusting work to see how China Mac instigates all of these situations between these black guys and then just puts on that smirk like, you know what I mean? It's just disgusting work, my G's. Now, you know, China Mac been having a lot of issues with, you know, these different YouTubers, these different street characters out there in New York. And he recently went to Troy Ave's hood, right? Ordered 4 wings and rice, got extra duck sauce, and ate his 4 wings and rice and said he pulled up to the hood. And what made matters worse is that, you know, Drip the cameraman, you know, Lil Zippy with the Zippy, Lil Zippy with the Drippy was the cameraman. So now you got this Chinaman talking crazy to black guys in New York City, and you got another black guy holding the camera for him. Think about how crazy that is. Think about how wild that is. That you got a Lil Zippy with the Drippy holding China Mac's camera, Bree. I just thought that was so disgusting. That it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But when I was coming in and out of New York, we didn't, you know, you never saw Chinamen running in and out the projects. You didn't see Chinamen having some type of, you know, street cred within the projects, within the hoods of where black people lived at. And I wanted to use that to segue, you know, into the situation where it's like a lot of New Yorkers think that people from down south or people from West Coast or wherever don't like New Yorkers. And what I realize is it's not that, you know, we definitely don't have a disdain for New Yorkers. I think a lot of people are disappointed in what New York has become. And this is a prime example where you got a Zippy with the drippy holding the camera. I mean, little cameraman. You know what I'm saying? You talk about all this jail stuff. You talk about X, Y, and Z, but then you bow down and hold the camera for old Chinaman. It's disgusting work. You understand what I'm saying? And again, like I said, I want to say a big salute to 05 the movement, man. But standing on grown man business, standing on grown man business when it comes to his people and when it comes to the hood as a whole. You feel me? You pull up, come on, man, disgusting work. And Zip with the drip, little Zippy the cameraman should be ashamed of himself, man. Lost a lot of cred with that one. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. What you got to know is when you look through the smoke and mirrors, you should be able to see just how many different cultures like to come within our culture and stir up mayhem and cause confusion. You understand me? It's not by coincidence, my G. Jake, you got a China Mac, all these different cultures infiltrating our culture to cause confusion amongst the kings of this, amongst the men of this thing. It's hard to get on grown man business. It's hard to stay on grown man business when you got all these different cultures fighting the war, infiltrating the infrastructure and causing confusion. You understand? And like I said, Lil Zippy with the drippy talks like he's a Muslim, talks like he's well versed and he got some knowledge. So I thought it was crazy. Like, he should know before anybody else that causing confusion is one of the worst things you could do as a Muslim. You might get off with a murder. You might get off with a body, but confusion tops that. And that's exactly what Zippy with the drippy was doing when he was in Troy Ave's hood or wherever they was at in Brooklyn, holding the camera, turning cameraman. You understand me? Dudes like Zippy the drippy let me tell you something. And went to jail for it, gets out of jail, and now he's holding the cameraman for China Mac. That's who y'all rocking with? That's why a lot of people have so much to say about New York. It's disgusting work to see what y'all become, my G. It's the New York. I got people all throughout East New York, Linden Projects, Fairfield, Fairfield Housing, Pennsylvania Avenue. I stayed on the 3 train right off of New Lots. Took that 3 train to Utica and then took it all the way up to 96 in Columbia. So I know all about NYC. And to see what y'all become, to see it, but if you can remember how thorough these NYC dudes used to be when I was coming up, the dudes from NYC were thorough. They was thoroughbreds, my G. To see these dudes holding cameras for a Chinaman in the middle of the projects is disgusting work. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. And like I said, man, I took a small hiatus from the YouTube thing because it's a lot of clout chasing on YouTube. It's a lot of confusion on YouTube, and half these dudes ain't seeing no paper. So I wanna sit back and kind of watch things and revamp the channel and figure out what topics I really want to dive into when I do give y'all my time and my energy, because time and energy is the highest form of currency, my G. Time and energy is the highest form of currency. Remember, I told y'all that. Ain't nobody on YouTube gonna tell y'all that, and ain't nobody on YouTube like that. But this is how it always happens, man. And a lot of the times, these dudes that's infiltrating the culture, they doing it on the low. A lot of the times, these things are happening, and we don't know. We just see 2 black guys going at it, 2 black guys fighting, and we think that they just is black on black. Nah. A lot of the times you got a Chinaman in the middle of the situation. A lot of the times you got a Slavic like DJ Vlad in the middle of the situation. Adam 22, a skinhead. Adam 22 is a real skinhead. Look at his old pictures when he ain't have no hair. He was a skinhead, my G. 1090 Jake, he from Boston or he from Florida. One minute he talking like he from Boston, the next minute he got a Florida accent. We don't know who this guy is. But China, you already know though. When you talking that talk, it's gonna go in and out. But it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. the Drippy, I'm not gonna stay long, but Zippy the Drippy, hey man, hey listen, boy, trust me, man. Everybody, come on, man. That's disgusting work. You holding the camera, man, for China Mac. You on your knees that bad? You want what you think China Mac gonna do for you, homie? Stand up, man. You know what I'm saying? Stand up, old Zippy. You got something going. You got some motion, man. Use that motion, man. Get off your knees, homie. Don't be a cameraman for China Mac. All right, now I want to get right off of that because again, I just had to say that. It's disgusting work to see what you New York boys is turning into, man. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now let's talk about Jim Jones and Pusha T. Now, Pusha T, he made the top 50 rappers, the top 50 greatest rappers of all times. He made the list. I didn't get to see the list. I don't know where he fell on the list, but I know he made the list, right? And you got guys like Jim Jones that feel like Pusha T shouldn't be on that list. You understand me? Now, I recently did a video about Pusha T, because I saw him in that, matching socks with Lil Nas X. I saw him with the purse in his hand, and it was disgusting work. And I'm gonna tell you something. One thing for sure, two things for certain. It don't matter who you are, where you from. We're gonna talk about it. But Jim Jones is a hater, man. I gotta say that. Now, again, like I said, man, I don't rock with what what Pusha T had going with that outfit. But when it comes to the bar and rapping, he's definitely top 50, if you ask me. And you ain't gotta just ask me, you could ask Jay-Z. A lot of y'all from New York and Brooklyn, y'all like Jay-Z, y'all follow Jay-Z would put Pusha T in top 50. Anytime Pusha T drops an album, guess who's on it? Guess who's on it? Guess who makes his way onto that album? Jay-Z said out of his own mouth, he looks for anything that Pusha T drops because he wants to feel that top tier lyricism. That's 757. That's VA all day. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But we wasn't feeling Vamp Life, Jimmy. We wasn't feeling Vamp Life. Jimmy, you had one song called Ballin' that we all liked. And it's obviously that Max B has something to do with that because you never went up to the Ballin' ceiling ever again. Max B went to jail and you've been trying, your lobby boys, you've been selling Vamp Life and you've been trying to do something. You almost became a news anchor, Jim Jones. You almost became a news anchor. We saw you telling the news. Come on, homie. So it's not valid, man. And I feel like a Jim Jones, a Mano, anybody like that talking about a Pusha T need to watch their mouth when it comes. You understand what I'm saying? To when it comes to lyricism, my G. When it comes to lyricism, now mind you, man, I'm not in the algorithm right now. I've been laying low. But I thought that was crazy to see China Mac in the hood. As again, you already see the charm. You see the change. Salute the 505, the movement again. Salute, homie. You know what I'm saying? When I saw your live, man, it's like, bro, come on. You might be the last one left. You might be the last one left. When I used to come to New York and I used to get off that 3 train in New Lots and I used to go to Linden Projects and I used to have a backpack full of them hammers and I used to rub shoulders with them Brooklyn boys. They was like 505 the movement. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would ever see Brooklyn or New York as a whole start going and turning out the way it is right now. And it's disgusting work, my G. Disgusting work. You got a Zippy with the Drippy holding the camera for a China Mac. So this China man that came into the hood, he didn't cause confusion between, Whack 100 and Mano and this guy and that guy. A China man. And then he goes to the projects, right? And he gets a Zippy with the Drippy to hold his camera. Come on, man. And this is respectfully. This is why a lot of people from outside of New York, when they speak about New Yorkers, a lot of New Yorkers and a lot of people feel like it's a hate towards New York, and it's not a hate. It's not a disdain, it's a disappointment, especially from guys like me that come. I'm an 80s baby. I remember New York at its pinnacle. I remember New York when you wasn't about to see no Chinaman on no corner, except for uptown over there by Canal Street, selling some fake Gucci, selling some fake Jordans. But you would have never saw them in East New York or in Brooklyn, nowhere. So it's not a distance. We love New York, but it's like, yo, I'm talking about financially. You understand what I'm saying? Innovation. Yeah, I'm not in the algorithm right now, so the numbers is gonna be what the numbers is. But like I said, a lot of people come in after the live and they check out G&B, Big Grown Man Business TV. New Yorkers was thorough, bruh. When I used to come to New York, let me tell you something. When I used to come to New York, I probably have, maybe 11, 12 hammers on me. I get there on a Friday. Every hammer would be sold by Saturday night. But I would always keep 2 hammers, one for me, one for my homie. And I wouldn't sell those last 2 hammers until Sunday when we got out of there. Because we knew what we was dealing with when we was in Brooklyn. We knew what we was dealing with when we was in them pissy hallways. We knew what we was dealing with when we was going to the Four Wings and Rice Chinese spot, getting our food. We knew what we was dealing with. Now you got everybody looking at NYC like a joke. And it don't make no matters worse when you got a Chinaman running around like he's some hoodster. Chinaman, his daddy told, his daddy a rat. Nobody holding them accountable. Everybody just stamping them and saying he good. Why? That's disgusting work, man. And I'm coming where I'm at right now. Coming through Texas right now, man. Anytime you see me on live, you're gonna see me with this strap. Again, grown man business. I got to salute Glico. I got to salute that, my G. Family man. Big dogs in the family. We running our household. And if you know, when I go home, you already know what I go home to. I be looking at these. It's like, come on. That's why I had to fall back just a little bit. It's like, man, everything these bloggers is trying to get already got. You try and get the big house, already got that. You try and get the nice cars is paid off. You trying to get the jewelry and all that, already got that. Family locked down. Half these dudes running their mouth about what they was running in jail, but they can't even run their own household. They can't even run their family. These dudes is living in their granny house. These dudes is having thoughts come to their granny house and they record, they going live with 2 thoughts in their granny house trying to brag like they doing something. Those 2 dirty thoughts, your granny rolling over in her grave to know you had them dirty thoughts in her house. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. China Mac, disgusting work. Culture vulture at its highest. You got a China, it's always gonna be an infiltrator. It's always gonna be someone outside our culture infiltrating our culture. You understand me? To cause confusion. So I'm gonna end this topic with this. My opinion is all of you New York content creators, y'all need to band together, homie. I don't know if it's beef. It ain't none of my business. It's New York politics. But I would tell y'all to band together, bro, and make it so that it's not open borders for this culture. You don't see nobody talking about the Chinese mafia, the Dungeon Dragons, the Dragon Knights, whatever they are, because they don't let black people in their business. They don't let black people just put on Chinese garment and come to Chinatown and get involved in they politics. Before they let one of you black boys come over there and get in their politics, they'll band together, they'll bomb on you, then they'll get back to beefing. So if it's gonna be a beef, let it be a beef, because it's always tribal war. It's always war from within. That's natural. That's a natural part of the game. But before we let a Chinaman come over here and walk these streets, come on, man. Young black men going to the same store he's standing in front of, getting his head popped off, but you gonna let a Chinaman, disgusting work, NYC. Disgusting work. And I said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. Salute the 505, the movement, man. That's what I remember New York being like. Dudes like 505 the movement, huh? Ready, talking like that, moving like that. Before y'all hate on him, y'all might want to take a note out of his book, my G. Y'all might want to take a note out of his book and stand on that business. I gotta salute, homie. That's what I remember New York City being like. Now you got zippies with the drippies holding cameras. These dudes turning cameraman when a Chinaman come around. They going with the Chinaman, buying 4 wings and rice and holding the camera, talking crazy behind the camera while he walking through y'all projects. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. Listen, slide through Texas right now. Like I said, I ain't been on the tube. It been some weeks now that I even did a video, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, because I'm getting to it. And you know, YouTube is cool. Them little checks is alright, but yeah, I'm gonna tap in and tap out how I tap in and tap out. But just know I'm watching. I got an eye on everything that's going on, and you know, it's like, yeah, Mano did what he did. Whatever's going on with that, that's our business. That's our business. You Chinaman, you DJ Vlad, you 1090 Jakes. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all stay in y'all business. You gotta ask yourself this question: why 1090 Jake don't talk about the Italian mafia? Because he's from, you know, he's from Boston. There's a lot of mob business going on in Boston for a long time. Why he don't talk about that? Vlad TV, he's a Slavic. He's from the Ukraine. Why he ain't talking about the war that's going on in Ukraine? We done sent hundreds of millions of dollars to. Why DJ Vlad don't talk about that? Well, Chinaman, yeah, Chinaman. I don't call him Mac. Chinaman. Why he don't talk about what's going on in Chinatown? Because we the cash cows. And instead of us understanding that we the cash cow, we let these suckers infiltrate the infrastructure of what we got going on every time and cause confusion. They cause enough confusion until somebody loses their life every time. Every time, my G. I got more pull to talk about what's going on in the hoods in New York than a China Mac, dude. Yeah, China Mac. Come on, man. China Mac. Come on, man. And then China Mac, if you don't know, he went to Cali and got whooped out by AD. He went to Cali and got whooped out by AD. Now you gotta ask yourself, why did he do that? Why did he go to Cali and get whooped out? Because he want to live in Cali. He got a house in Cali. You heard Zippy with the drippy bragging, "Oh, remember man got a house in Cali." He got a house in Cali. And for him to even be safe over there and to be able to move over there, he had to bump heads with somebody like an AD, and AD whooped him out. His face was all swollen. Just come on, man. It's crazy. Chinaman. I never thought I'd see the day where a Chinaman would have a hold on the hood and be controlling the outcomes of what happens between gangsters or so-called gangsters. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You know, Jimmy, like I said, man, Jimmy ain't had nothing popping off like that since balling, if you ask me. Nothing outside of New York City. It's a reason why Jay-Z gets on every Pusha T album. Anything Pusha drops, if you like it or not, Jay-Z's on it. And Google what Jay-Z says about Pusha T. Google the things that he say about Pusha T and his lyricism. If we talking about lyrics and putting bars together in real rap, oh yeah, Pusha up there somewhere. He in there somewhere. All right. So that is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But Pusha T wearing a skirt, having doing his thing with his purse and all that, I ain't into that. I ain't into that. You know, I had to get on him about that. I got a lot of people hollering at me in the DMs about that particular video. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Not taking it down. It is what it is, my G. You got to stand on that. We saw you with matching socks with Little Nas X. That speaks for itself. But Jimmy, man, Jimmy washed up. When it come to hip hop, Jimmy washed up. Mano washed up. They don't get to talk about nobody on the top hip hop rap list or none of that. Jim Jones or Mano. They need to be quiet. They need to go do a Lobby Boy album too. Get some good features. Maybe do a Lobby Boys album too and get Pusha T as a feature. You know, he made the list. Maybe he could do something for your album. But I didn't. Nobody is talking about any music. Like I said, the last time I saw Jim Jones, it looked like he was about to become a weatherman for P. Diddy. It looked like, no, Revolt was about to hire him to be a weatherman. Tell the news. You talk about how the weather is in New York. That's what last time I heard of a Jimmy Jones. Okay, Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy Jones. Okay, Chano. Maybe I'm gonna come back another time and talk about old Chano. That was disgusting look for Brooklyn, but it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Chano. The same chain you're talking about need to be thrown out the window. You got 40 pictures of the with the chain on. Come on, man. This is what I'm talking about, dog. There's no hate towards New York, but it's just disgusting work, and a lot of people are disappointed. But I tell you this before I leave: one thing for sure, two things for certain. New York ain't over. Y'all ain't washed up. Y'all still got boys like 505 the movement, everything Glico, and that whole movement over there. Y'all need to get behind that. Y'all need to stand behind that. Zippy with the drippy, you need to tell us what you do for a living, Zippy with the drippy. We all want to know, what is your 9 to 5, Zippy with the drippy? What do you do, my G? What do you do? We don't want to talk about jail no more. We don't want to hear nothing about running the house. We want to know what you doing for a living, my G. We want to know what's going on with you, because for you to walk outside and hold China Mac's camera for him and become a cameraman, it just spoke volumes to me, man. You're not where you want to be, my G. You got a lot of growing to do. You know what I'm saying? You did a lot of time. And I'm sure it's a lot that you aspire to have. And I hope you get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to send positive vibes your way, my G. I hope you get everything you inspire to have. You understand me? But looking at 050 the movement, looking at, homie over there and all that, like, that's what you should aspire to get. Your own crib, not your grandmama house. A female that's going to follow your lead. A family, homie. You chasing a bag. You chasing the bag. And what you don't understand is you got to get some things in order before the bag is going to truly come your way. You got some movement, but you keep talking about getting a podcast that somebody else is funding and somebody else is sponsoring that you're going to be under contract to pay back. You should do it all yourself, Zippy. That's my advice to you. Don't let China Mac use you. Like, that was a weak move for you. It kind of exposed you to me. Everybody else probably still, let's get to that. But to me, I'm seeing something. I'm seeing chinks in your armor, homie. It's flaw in your character, homie. Disgusting look. China man get to fly to Cali and go live over there. What you gonna do? Stay in the hood and put yourself in a position to go back to jail because you holding the camera for the China man? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. Salute to everybody that's in the building, and salute to everybody that's going to tap in. Like I said, man, I've been on the road, and I'm not stopping. I'm going all year long. It's some property that I want. I got my eye on a 6 or 7 unit apartment complex I'm about to buy, and I don't have a lot of time to do videos every day for y'all, but I'm gonna get back in tune and I'm gonna get back in the rhythm of things. But just know it's Grown Man Business TV. That's jumping over here at all times. We keeping it grown man business. Grown man business, man. That's not just a title. It's a lifestyle, boy. Grown man business is a lifestyle. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Salute. Gang. Oh, it's come. Before I shoot out. Look, that homecoming good. I still got the spot in Mexico. I'm still sending people out there. You feel me? We still locked in. Mexico, though, I'm gonna say this. Ever since those little situations with Ever since that little situation with the young lady getting, you know, deleted out there in Mexico, and then you had the whole situation with the cartels popping off. Mexico, you know, Mexico was looking a little shaky. So I was in the process of selling the villa that I got out there, but I still got it, and things are starting to turn around. A lot of people are still traveling to Tulum. So you know, that's a beautiful thing. I still got that property, and you know, my next move is I want that apartment complex, and I'm gonna buy a truck. I've been looking at trucks. I get a nice tractor. I get a nice 18-wheeler freight line joint for like 60 cash, a beautiful joint. I can get one for 25, but it'll have more miles on it. So I get something for like 60, 55,000, low mileage, go crazy. Well over 100. I'm doing well over 6 figures a year just in the truck. Just in this truck, well over 6 figures a year. Feel me? So I want to get my own truck, you know what I'm saying, and start moving like that. So that'll be popping off next year. And then that property, 6 units, you do the math, man. 6 units, $1,500 a month. We talking good right there. That's big. That's something big right there. So that's why I'm grinding nonstop. I'm grinding so hard. I don't really have a lot of time to like do the videos because I be in and out moving. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I get to the crib. I got to spend time with the family. I don't have time to sit, do the videos, edit the videos. If I ain't in the truck, I'm trying to spend time with my family. My daughter's about to graduate. You feel me? So, you know, we got a lot of things going within the family unit. The family unit is what they don't want us to have. They understand once these so-called gangsters and thugs realize that the power is in the family unit, everybody loses. Everybody that's around us will lose once we realize that family is key. Unity is key. We can have little squabbles, we can have little beefs, but we ain't gonna let no Chinaman come in and start talking. Nah, we're not having that. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this. You got Siberian tigers, you got Bengal tigers, and you got Asian tigers, right? They all are tigers, but they live in different communities. Now, if a Siberian tiger sees an Asian tiger walking through the forest, yeah, these Siberian tigers, they fighting over the water, they fighting over the women, they fighting over the food. But soon as these Siberian tigers see that Asian tiger walking through the forest, they gonna band together. Then they gonna smoke the Asian tiger. Then they can get back to beef. Then they can get back to war. Then they can get back to figuring out who gonna have the women, who gonna have the water, who gonna have everything in this jungle. But soon as they see an Asian tiger or a Bengal tiger walking and just frolicking through the jungle, they gonna band together and smoke that tiger. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We need to be on that same type time. Yeah, we can have our beefs, we can have our squabbles, we can have our, you know, internal situations. But soon as we see a Slavic, anybody from a different culture coming into our situation, we supposed to dead that. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man.